going on, everybody? Well, everything came in. I have one more shipment to pick up at an auto store. This is all stuff from Rock Auto. But other than that, this is everything. And actually, I'm going to be starting on this shortly. It's early. I have a day off, so I'm going to try to do everything I need to do in one day because there's so much more to do than just do a head. There is so much more. But this is the head. Looks good. I already matched it up with a straight edge, and it looks good. And it's the 0630, so it's what I asked for. This is a box of O-rings. It's what I need for both sides. Whenever I take that fuel rail off, I just do both sides of the injectors, and I don't bother with that stupid quick disconnect because I'm afraid at the age this car's at, if I disconnect it, it'll never connect right again, and then it'll just leak. So this sounds like a intake exhaust, gasket. This is the head gasket. Oh no, yep, no, this is the valve cover gasket here. Head bolts, and this should be the air conditioning compressor. We'll see this. Yep, it's brand new. Remanufactured parts are really not worth your time if you can help it. So, yeah, that's what came in the mail here. And then, like I said, I have one more shipment, and I already got all the various chemicals, like assembly lube and everything. All I need to get is a little coolant and some oil. But, yeah. Anyways, see you guys later. Head bolt number 11 needs a high temperature sealant. This is what I got from a Tex. So if you haven't done this job before, the first step is to torque everything down to 22 pounds, well, foot-pounds. So let me get started on that. So now we're doing them at 45. This is step 2. 45. Okay, so after torquing them down first to 22 and then to 45, you recheck them at 45, and then all of them get torqued down to 110, except for this one, it's 100. I gotta get this paint off somehow. I don't know what the deal with this is, what the purpose of that was, but I gotta get it off before I put the valve cover gasket on. Something I'm doing now is, so I think that the bearing on this fan pulley squeaks a little bit, and so actually, funny story about these, they use the same bearing on that since Willys Jeeps. The part number actually goes to a Willys Jeep, but you can get a new bearing for that without buying the whole bracket and everything from Jeep or whatever. It's not Jeep anymore, but Chrysler. However, that's expensive, and I don't have the press to take the bearing out. And when this was the engine in it, when I was trying to get that one running, and it was only running on 3 cylinders, but this did not squeak. So I think I'm just going to take this bracket off, clean it up, and put it on instead. I already sprayed the bolts down with some of that good old trusty PB Blaster. So there's only a few. So of course there's the 2 that go onto the head, but those obviously at this stage I'm not worried about. So there's one there, and then there's this one here. Kind of looks like one of the alternator bolts that goes here. So it's those 2, and it should free up. I sprayed them down, so I'm hoping that does the trick. So what that means over here is that I have to take apart this contraption, which is always fun. It means this fan shroud is going to have to kind of come off with the fan at the same time. It's going to be a 2-hand job. I can't really show it. I don't know how much I'm going to show here because we have a blizzard coming, and so I have just today and today only to get this done. Everything I have to do done. So pretty much what I'm going to do is I got new push rods and rocker arms. They're going to be lubricated with assembly lube and put on. I'll try to, if I can remember, I'll try to put the torque specs and the bolt torquing order on in the comments, not the comments, description. But that has to be done. I have a new air conditioning system and whatnot to put in. These things I got new O-rings and everything for, so it's all just going to have to go back together without much commentary, I think. So, and then of course I have to drain the oil, put new oil in, and fill all the fluids, etc., etc., thermostat. So I'll see what I can show. Okay, so that's on. I mean, it's a bit of a pain. You need one of those little angler guys, and these 2 that bolt into the head are really, really temperamental to thread in properly. So it just takes a little wiggling, a little bit of patience, but all in all, not too bad. Not too bad. Before I put it in, I did lubricate this up, so should be good. We'll see. Definitely worth a shot before you spend $200 or more, unless you want to go and buy a press as well. Anyway, off to the next project, which is going to be putting the fan back on. That's always really fun. Alright, a few important things. We're at the stage now where we're putting on the brand new push rods and rocker arms. I already got the push rods in. Now, this is very important. This is necessary. You need assembly lube. This is synthetic kind. It's good. Just some kind of assembly lube. I like this because it's very, very thick, so it makes it easy to apply and it doesn't run everywhere while you're trying to put everything together. So they need to go on both sides of the push rods. I already did that for the bottom, and I'm going to put it on the top. And it's okay if this gets in your oil. It's not going to hurt anything. Not to mention, you only want to drive on this first, set of oil for like 500 miles, and then you want to get rid of it because there's probably a little coolant or some debris or something in it. Just give it some time. When you're putting these these rocker arms in, so there's these little patterns. The wide side, see how it goes smaller to wider? The wide side goes towards the push rod. So wide side, in like that. So wide that way. And it goes for both on both sides, and it goes for all of them all the way across. Make sure you put lubricant in there as well as on the top of these push rods, otherwise you're going to have problems. All that work's going to be for nothing. I'll come back to you when it's time to torque these things down. Alright, so all the new push rods, rocker arms, pivots, brackets, everything else is all in place. And man, does that look good or what? Man, it's a little dirty from my gloves, but like, really looks nice. So, I did forget to mention that if you have a new head like this, these threads are going to be really dry, and for whatever reason, they don't turn well. But if you just add a little dollop of assembly lube in there, that'll free it up and it'll spin freely. I recommend you do that regardless of if you're replacing the head or not. It just ends up making sure that everything bolts down and torques down the way it's supposed to be. That being said, the torque specs are 19 to 22 foot-pounds. I do mine as close to 21 as possible. Don't ask me why. That option of all the options they gave just seems like the best to me. Alright, so I'm back from a little break. Well, all this is gone and everything's really, really easy access. I'm going to go ahead and put the spark plugs in. It's a little cold for gasket maker, so I did buy a gasket for the thermostat housing there. That's probably going to be one of the last things I do, though. Okay, so we're getting really close now. I think the only real time-consuming things left before we can start it is the valve cover, because it's just so many bolts, and then the air conditioning compressor, because I have to go and figure out how much PAG oil's in it and how much, then I have to decide how much is supposed to go in it and everything else. Oh yeah, and these O-rings. But the sun is most definitely going to be still in the sky when this thing is running, which is great because I'm tired of working on things in the middle of the night. So what caught me off guard, I didn't even notice, was that this head did not come with studs in it, so I had to pull the ones out of the other block, and my hands are killing me now, out of the other head. But those studs are in and it's all bolted on tight. You definitely can't just say screw it and not bolt it in on those studs. You'll have a major exhaust leak. These bolts here that hold the intake and the exhaust are not good enough, not nearly good enough. You need these two on both sides. So with that said, I'm going to put on my intake now. I have to be careful. The connector for the O2 sensor broke, so I had to tape it together. This was months and months ago, but when I put the intake on, I can't just slap these to the side. It has to go in this harness, like in like that. I can't just, yeah. So anyway, I'm gonna take care of that, and I'll catch you guys in a bit. Alright, so it's been a long day. I couldn't really show you anything because it just took so long, and we have snow coming. Everything's put back together, oil's in it, etc., etc. The only thing there isn't is coolant. I just need to get inside because we live in the middle of the woods, and I just heard a huge pack of coyotes or wolves or something, and I heard some police sirens trying to scatter them off, and so anyway, I got this thing. It's to bleed all the air out and whatever. So first start, people that have never torn apart an engine like this before, expect smoke. There's gonna be smoke. You know why? Because of stuff like that. You got your greasy gloves and hands all over everything. You got lubricants everywhere. What's touching things that get hot will burn off. Do not worry about it. That's all you need to know. I don't exactly know if this is going to start in the first try because, I mean, I did a lot of work today. I could have missed something easily, but I guess I'll find out. See you guys in a bit. Well, the good news is it runs. No idiot lights, anything like that. But this puzzles me. I can't figure out what's going on here. Okay, so little update. All this is clearing up. This must have been a very, very, very bad leak, and so it was all just caught up in the caddy, and that was it. This thing still hasn't taken in much coolant, so I'll be out here for a while before I can even clean up. But anyway, runs again, sounds really good. I don't have any idiot lights, so we're looking good. So I'm still bleeding this thing, and it's so cold outside. I have the headlights on so I can warm my hands while I'm cleaning up. Made a good dent, but we're not there yet. And
This isn't done yet, and it's cold out, so it's taken absolutely forever. But hey, it's running. So far, I notice no adjustments that are needed, and this is the last decent working day. After this, it's all blizzards and cold, and I mean, it was cold today, but it wasn't that bad. And look at that, clean exhaust. And I know this is one of those things that you can't really appreciate unless you're standing in front of it in person, but thanks to that new those new rocker arms and all that, this engine runs silent. Like, there's not a ping, not a knock, nothing. Absolutely nothing. It just starts, and that is it. Cold, warm, doesn't matter. It's great. Anyways, I'm pretty sure this is the end of the video here. So, well, hopefully, I mean, hopefully nothing else goes wrong. Take it easy, guys. Sorry I didn't get to show you more, but it's back on the road. That's what's important. You know, I am truly ridiculous. This whole time I've been, you know, warming my hands up in the headlights and all this crap. I could have just taken a quick break in here. You know, the heat's only on, so this thing runs so nice. Oh my god. Anyway, now it's the actual end of the video. Alright peeps, what's up? I did a cold start, but my camera decided to have a mind of its own while my phone did, and it just didn't take it. So it started flawlessly. This is a few days later. I'm going to work. It's early in the morning, letting my truck warm up. It's cold. Very cold. I try not to warm it up too much because I have neighbors, and I know the camera kind of does this noise canceling thing, but it's loud. So yeah, and I still do have neighbors even though I live in the sticks. But everything is running very well. So I'm gonna get out of here and go to work now. Take it easy. Alright guys, it is 8 o'clock at night. It is something very slightly above 0 degrees Fahrenheit. I don't know what it is. I'm going to cold start this thing just so, because I promised one this morning and it never happened. Flawless. Absolutely flawless. Alright, forgot the damn SD card in the truck. Alright, get out of here, you.